In less than a week of the transfer window, Newcastle United have made a statement. So from revealing the massive agreement revealed by Fabrizio Romano to unveiling Newcastle's last-ditch exciting secret transfer plan, we'll also discuss the latest on the Isak transfer saga. As per, join us as we'll break it all down and discuss the latest Newcastle United transfer news.
Let's go!
So Newcastle United's summer transfer window has been anything but quiet, but few could have predicted the sudden twist that unfolded just as fans were busy looking ahead to the Champions League draw. Out of nowhere, reports broke that Stuttgart's towering striker Nick Woltemade was set to become the club's latest signing in a deal worth around £65 million. What had begun as little more than speculation a few weeks ago has now developed into one of the biggest transfer stories of the summer. At just 23 years old and standing at 6'6", the German forward has already established himself as one of Europe's most promising young strikers, and Newcastle have now moved decisively to bring him to St James's Park. According to Fabrizio Romano, the agreement is already in place, with the total package rising above €80 million when add-ons are included. A medical has been scheduled within the next 24 hours, with travel arrangements already being finalized. In fact, Nick Woltemade has finally touched down in Newcastle, bringing one of the summer's biggest transfer sagas to the brink of completion. The 23-year-old Stuttgart striker arrived on Tyneside on Thursday evening, with Sky Sports confirming that he landed at Newcastle Airport shortly after 9 p.m. Within the hour, the 6'6" forward was spotted checking into the Dakota Hotel on the quayside, greeted by cameras and supporters eager to catch a first glimpse of the man who could soon become United's new record signing. The deal is now moving rapidly towards the finish line. Keith Downie has revealed that Newcastle have agreed a £65 million fee, with an additional £4 million in performance-related add-ons, bringing the total package to £69 million, eclipsing the £63 million spent on Alexander Isak 2 summers ago. Woltemade is set to undergo his medical on this morning, with club officials pushing to finalize the paperwork before the midday deadline. Should everything be completed in time, Eddie Howe could have his new striker available for Saturday's clash with Leeds United. Confirmation of the move has also come from Germany. Stuttgart released a statement on Thursday night confirming that Woltemade has been withdrawn from all club activities as he prepares to seal his transfer. Shortly before the summer transfer window closed, VfB Stuttgart received an offer from a European club for an immediate transfer of Nick Woltemade. The terms of this offer have prompted club officials to release Nick Woltemade from training and matchday duties in order to hold talks with the interested party about a potential transfer. A decision on this is expected before the end of tomorrow, Friday, the statement read. Newcastle are now in a race against time, but all signs suggest that Woltemade will be unveiled as a United player within the next 24 hours. His arrival marks a huge statement of intent from the new ownership, adding size, presence, and pedigree to Howe's attacking options. For supporters, the sight of a new number 9 arriving at St James's Park, especially one as physically imposing and highly regarded as Woltemade, is the clearest sign yet that the club intends to keep building, keep competing, and keep moving forward. For Eddie Howe, who has been left frustrated after failed pursuits of Benjamin Sesko and Jurgen Strand Larsen, the capture of Woltemade represents a huge breakthrough. It also signals a turning point in Newcastle's transfer strategy. Interestingly, the arrival of Woltemade all but ends the club's interest in Strand Larsen. Downie has explained that the two strikers share too similar a profile, making it unnecessary to sign both. Instead, Newcastle's attention has shifted to Yoane Wissa, the Brentford forward, who remains firmly on their radar. The Congolese international has been linked with the Magpies throughout the summer, and current plans appear to be focused on creating a potential partnership between Woltemade and Wissa. The prospect of a big man, little man combination, with Woltemade's aerial dominance and physicality paired with Wissa's pace and movement, is an exciting vision for Howe's front line, yet Brentford are proving difficult to deal with. Newcastle's bids have so far been turned away, including the most recent £35 million plus £5 million in add-ons, as the Bees continue to demand closer to £60 million. Wissa himself is desperate for the move, having already refused to feature this season under new manager Keith Downie. Andrews. The player believes a promise to allow him to leave for Champions League football has been broken, and his patience is wearing thin. The transfer deadline is looming, and while Newcastle remain confident, the uncertainty surrounding Brentford's willingness to negotiate could yet derail the move. All of this leaves Alexander Isak's situation hanging in the balance. Officially, Newcastle's stance has been that the Swedish forward is not for sale, but privately it has long been understood that the right offer would tempt them. Liverpool have already tested their resolve with a £110 million bid, rejected immediately, but a new offer is expected in the coming days. Downie has hinted that it could surpass the £115 million fee Liverpool paid for Florian Wirtz, potentially breaking the Premier League transfer record.
And what I've been saying about this situation now for Newcastle and Liverpool is this is the dominoes beginning to fall. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean that Alexander Isak definitely moves to Liverpool, because, of course, Liverpool still need to make a Premier League record bid that was higher than the £110 million offer they made last month. And of course, Newcastle still need to make sure they get Nick Woltemade signing over the line. Yes, he's on his way to the northeast. I'm expecting him to land at Newcastle Airport later on this evening and undergo his medical tomorrow. But of course, that deal has not been finalised yet, and Newcastle will want to ensure that that deal is done and complete, and Woltemade is in the building, signed and sealed, before they allow Alexander Isak to go. But I'll refer you back to the statement that came out from Newcastle United 9 days ago in retort to Alexander Isak's social media post, and they said then that the conditions of a sale have not been met and they're unlikely to do so. Now, that has changed, hasn't it? Because Newcastle are close to signing Nick Woltemade. They've got that agreement in place there with Stuttgart, a package of £65 million, 60 plus, so 68.5 plus 4.5 in add-ons. So they're close to doing that. That, I think, moves the goalposts as far as Isak is concerned. Now, look, Newcastle still want to get another striker in, and I think they will try to do that before they allow Isak to move to Liverpool or till they listen to offers from Liverpool. But what I would say is the fact Newcastle are closing in on one, that makes it increasingly likely that Isak moves to Liverpool. I don't say it's a definite, but because Newcastle have got one striker in, it makes things a bit more smooth for that process.
Newcastle are said to value Isak at closer to £150 million, and unless that figure is met, the club could choose to dig in and force the striker to stay. For Isak, who has already shown signs of frustration, that could mean time on the bench until the situation changes. The timing of Woltemade's arrival raises another intriguing question. Could he be registered in time to feature against Leeds United? For that to happen, the deal must be formally completed and confirmed by midday on Friday. While the logistics are tight, Newcastle are pushing hard to get it across the line, and fans will be watching closely to see if their new record signing could make a shock debut so soon after touching down in England. What began as a window of disappointment and failed pursuits has suddenly turned into one of the most dramatic striker sagas the club has faced in years. In a matter of days, Newcastle may not only have signed Woltemade, but also convinced Brentford to part with Wissa, two moves that would effectively pave the way for Isak's blockbuster transfer to Liverpool. Or if Brentford continue to resist, Howe could find himself juggling an unhappy star striker while bedding in a brand new talisman. Either way, the next few days promise to define not only this transfer window, but also the direction of Newcastle United's season. Then finally, in a massive development, I've sacrificed a lot of time and effort, and I recently released an Eddie Howe documentary, but I had to re-upload it due to copyright issues. If you could watch it again by clicking the video link on screen now, I would greatly appreciate it.